Let's be honest, we've all been there. You're on a website, you click a few things, and suddenly you're completely and totally lost. It feels like you've hit a digital dead end. Well, that whole headache isn't something you just have to put up with. Today, we're going to dig into a core principle of good web design that's all about giving you a map, not a maze. You know that feeling, right? That little bit of panic when you realize you have no idea where you are or how to get back to where you started? It's super frustrating, and honestly, it's a classic sign of a website that's just not designed with you in mind. Exactly. It's like wandering through a maze in the dark. You're trying to find one specific piece of information, but every click just seems to take you further down a rabbit hole of confusion. And what do we usually do? We just give up. We mash the back button, leave the site, and probably never come back. Okay, but what if I told you this whole problem has already been solved? There's actually a formal guideline for this. Now, it has a super technical name, WCAG Success Criterion 2.4.5. But don't let that scare you. We're going to break down what that actually means for all of us. Yeah, I know. That sounds like something you'd find in a legal document, right? But let's just ignore the jargon for a minute. The big idea hiding behind all those fancy words is actually really, really simple. And it's all about you, the user. And there it is. That's the whole point. This isn't about some designer trying to force everyone down one single perfect path. It's about recognizing that we all think differently. We search for things in different ways. We have different needs. The goal is just to offer more than one door into the same room. And this is about way more than just being convenient. For a lot of people, having these different paths is what makes a website even usable in the first place. So let's get into why this rule is so important. At its core, it really just boils down to speed. I mean, think about it. When you can use the method that just clicks with your own brain, you're not fighting the website anymore. You just find what you need and you find it faster. Let's look at a couple of real-world examples. Okay, this is a perfect one. Imagine you're using a screen reader to browse the web. Trying to listen to a massive, complicated navigation menu with dozens of links, it's not just slow, it's a nightmare. But a simple search bar, that lets you bypass all that noise and get straight to the point. It's an absolute game changer. And just so we're all on the same page, when we say assistive technology, we're talking about a whole range of really cool tools. It might be software that reads a web page out loud, a program that magnifies the text, or even a special kind of keyboard. These are the tools that really unlock the web for millions of people. Or how about this? For someone who finds those complex drop-down menus really confusing or overwhelming, a simple sitemap is a total lifesaver. Instead of a series of confusing turns, it's like a bird's eye view of the entire website. It makes it so much easier to see everything at once and just pick where you want to go. So we've seen the why. It's all about making the web faster and more accessible for everyone. So that brings us to the how. If you're building a site, what does this actually look like? Well, it turns out there's a pretty straightforward toolkit you can use. These are basically the big four. You can add a search bar, which is perfect for people who know exactly what they're looking for. You can give them a sitemap, which is great for anyone who wants that high-level overview. You can sprinkle related links throughout your content to help people discover other useful pages. Or for really long articles, a simple table of contents at the top is a fantastic option. And here is the magic number, 2. The guideline says you need to provide at least 2 of these methods. One is not enough. You have to give your users a choice. So if you have your main navigation menu plus a search bar, you're good to go. Now, of course, like any good rule, there is one little exception. You don't need to offer a bunch of different paths if the page is just one step in a sequence, or what the experts call a process. Think about situations where you actually wouldn't want to skip ahead. An online checkout is the perfect example of a process, right? You can't just jump from your shopping cart to the order confirmed page. You have to go through the steps: shipping, payment, review. In cases like that, a single clear path is exactly what the user needs and expects. All right, let's zoom out and look at the big picture here. Because at the end of the day, this was never just about checking a box on some technical compliance list. This is really about a fundamental shift in how we think about building websites for actual people. So why does this all matter? Well, it shows you respect your users' time and their preferences. It helps them find stuff faster. It gives them a sense of orientation so they don't feel lost. And you know what? It's not just some niche accessibility rule. It's just a core principle of really good design, period. So really, the goal here is to stop building these confusing digital mazes.
What we should be building are digital spaces that feel more like a well-planned city, with clear street signs, helpful maps, and lots of different routes to get you exactly where you want to go.
So that's the question I want to leave you with. As you're browsing the web today, start paying attention. For the websites you love and the ones that drive you crazy, just ask yourself, is this thing a maze or is it a map?